Good morning. This is Cam White with Trading Pub. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? Just type a yes. Good, 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 good. I want to welcome everyone to the Trading Pub. My name is Cam White, and this week we are delighted to kick off a week of market commentary from some of the best educators for trading on the Nadex exchange. Every morning this week, we will feature a different speaker from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This week, Trading Pub has also launched a special Nadex trading contest. This is a unique trading contest designed to reward trading consistency. We have over 400 contestants who have been given a $2,000 Nadex demo account, and the goal of this contest is to see if traders can make $80 per day for a week. That's trading consistency, and if you can do that, then your demo account will grow from $2,000 to $2,400 plus, which represents 20% account growth in just 1 week. And that's pretty darn good. Before we get started, I'm just going to ask really quickly. We have people coming into the room, but for those, are there people here that just have never traded Nadex or are brand new to it? I see a couple of yeses in so far, but give yourself a second just to type in a Y or an N if you are brand new to Nadex. Okay, we have a few people that are brand new. This morning what's going to happen is I'm going to do a quick introduction to what Nadex is to give people an idea of what it is and how to trade it. And then I'm going to hand it over to Sean Jantz, who's the founder of the Binary Trade Group, who is going to do today's market commentary. So with that being said, let's get started. First of all, please take a second to take a look at the obligatory disclaimer. Trading binary options involves risk. You should only consider trading with risk capital, and always remember that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Trading Pub, we provide free trading education for stocks, options, futures, Forex, and Nadex. And we've published a couple of free books on how to trade Nadex. One is called Trading Made Simple, Strategies Risk Less Than $100, and Nadex. In those 2 books, you're going to find 22 strategies on how to trade Nadex on multiple assets, various instruments, and at various times of day by some of the leading Nadex trading educators. It's free, and you can get it at Trading Pub. A little bit about myself. I'm the Partner Relationship Manager for Trading Pub. And what I do is work with authors, speakers, and experts. I bring in their content. We publish every month 2 to 3 ebooks, on-demand videos, all kinds of free education that gives traders edges from some of the best trading educators out there. I do a lot of writing for Nadex. I'm a blog author for them. I have a personal blog. And I put out a monthly newsletter called the Probability Report, which lists a calendar of upcoming Nadex events and webinars. So, Nadex in a nutshell. When you trade Nadex binary options or Nadex spreads, what you're doing is making a decision about where you think the market is going to be relative to a strike price within a defined time period of your choosing. Now, I'm going to have some examples to illustrate this. But by the end of this hour, you should have a very good idea of what Nadex is and how to trade it. So Nadex binary options have been called yes or no trade. Is packaged with a maximum value of $100 per contract. And that means the absolute amount of money you can win or lose is $100 per contract traded. You always know your maximum risk and maximum reward before you place your trade. You're making a decision once again about where you think the market's going to be relative to a strike price within a defined period of time that you get to choose. And as long as that trade is active within that defined time period, you cannot get stopped out. You can hold your trade until expiration, or you can exit early to preserve profits or to cut losses short. Okay, so I pulled up a chart from this morning, and this is the pound dollar, and this is basically the way binary options would work. And I'm going to pull up a little drawing tool here. This is a 5-minute binary option, so these trades move really, really fast. So here is where the market is right here. And this little red line right here, that is the finish line. There are 4 minutes left in this trade. So the first green bar is the first minute of that. Within the next 4 bars, this trade will be over. So looking where the market is right here, from the people in the room, do you think that when the market gets to this red line or the finish line, will it be above or below this line right here? Just type an A or a B. I'm going to try to make this interactive. So taking a look at this, we've got a little bit of a downtrend on the 1-minute charts. Is it going to be below? Don says it's going to be below. Sean says above. Marianne says below. Okay, so here's where we are right here. And this is what we call an at-the-money proposition. Over here, there's a strike price ladder. And right here, it's about 50-50. Those who believe it's going to be below, your risk would wind up being $52.75. If you think it's going to settle above this line, your risk would be $57.50 as well. So it's pretty balanced risk on either side of this equation right here. Now with Nadex, what makes things interesting, if you're used to trading traditional futures or forex or whatever, you're basically dealing where the market is. You're looking for a setback, but your actual trade is made where the market actually is. With Nadex, you can trade all over the board as long as there is a market for a proposition. So for example, we have about a 50-50 risk reward right here where the market currently is. But we're looking at an expiration that's 4 minutes away. Let's take a look at this strike price right here. How many people think that the marketplace is going to go from where it is here to above that line and settle above this line right here by the time that finish line hits? Is there anyone who thinks it's going to spike? No. Marianne says no. No from Joseph. Okay, within 4 minutes, that's a long way for this to travel. So this is, if you were trying to buy this, the marketplace is saying that they don't agree that that's going to happen. And basically with Nadex binary options, it's an exchange that's pitting your opinion of where you think the market's going to be versus someone who has an opposing view. So if no one thinks the market's going to go up here, your risk in this case is $26 to make $74. If you believe that, like most people here, the marketplace is going to stay below this line here, then your risk would be $83 to make $17. Now, that sounds like a lot of risk to reward, but if you feel very strongly on this downtrend that there's no way the marketplace is going to threaten that particular level, then that might actually be a pretty good trade to make. I'm going to clean this up here. Now let's go down here. How many people think that the marketplace, this market will settle at or below this line by expiration? Will the market make it below? Will the market make it down into this area here? I've got a no, excuse me, and another no. So within 4 minutes, the consensus on this particular call believes that the marketplace will not make it that far. If you did think it was going to move this far or really break down, then your risk on this particular proposition, you would be risking $21.25 to make $78.75. However, if you believe that the marketplace is going to be above this line and it's not going to threaten this area right here, then your risk would be $87 to make $12. Once again, it's not a huge profit, but if you're trading with absolute certainty within a 4-minute time, or in your mind at least, that this area here, this threshold will not be breached, then that's a pretty quick way to make some money. Does this make sense for people that are new? You're taking a look, once again, at where you think the marketplace is going to be in an expiration of your choosing. Is it going to be above or below this line, this strike price? Will it be above or below this strike price? Or will it be above or below this strike price? You have options to buy or sell anywhere there's a strike price available. And once again, you're trading against someone who has an equal and opposing viewpoint that matches up to $100. So if you're risking $30 to make $70, someone is risking $70 to make $30 on the other side of that contract to make up a $100 contract. Okay, moving on. Here's how the trade actually played out. So for those that felt that it was going to settle below this particular, my pen again. For those that figured that thought that the marketplace would be below this thing, if you sold from up here with an in the money, risking a lot to make a little, you were fine. At the money where it was 50-50, there's where the marketplace settled right there. If you sold from this strike price, you were good. If you bought from that strike price, you were not good. And down here, the marketplace never settled. It actually threatened this line here briefly, but it did not settle below this line. So if you bought from down here, you were good. If you sold from down here, you were not good. So that's how this actual 5-minute trade actually played out. Okay, a little bit more about Nadex. It's a North American derivatives exchange. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of the IG Group, which is listed on the FTSE 100 index. It's headquartered in Chicago, and it's subject to strict regulatory oversight by the CFTC. When you trade with Nadex, you're not trading with a broker. You place your orders directly on the exchange, so there are no middlemen. Your member funds are held in a segregated bank account in the United States. You have full transparency on every trade. You're not trading against Nadex. You're trading against another trader who has an opposing position. Nadex doesn't take sides on any side of the trade. Nadex was previously available only to legal residents of the United States, Canada, Mexico, and U.S. territories. It is now available in 47 countries. So when you place a trade with Nadex, everything starts with your opinion on what direction you think the market is headed. You can trade Forex, stock indices, and commodities with Nadex. And then what you want to do is select the asset you want to trade. Maybe you want to trade the pound dollar, or the E-mini S&P 500 futures, or Russell 2K futures. You can trade gold, crude, other commodities on Nadex. Nadex has a lot of assets you can trade. Then what you want to do is you want to select the strike expiration time frame for the time period that you're most comfortable trading. Maybe you're a trader that likes to take a look at how the market will settle at the end of the week. Maybe it's at the end of the day. Maybe it's every hour on the hour. And for some of the assets, they have 20-minute and 5-minute binaries also available. Then you want to buy or sell that asset. You select the number of contracts you want to trade. You determine the price that you want to pay for that contract, and you place your order directly on the exchange. Once again, no brokers. And you can close your position early and preserve profits, or you can let your binary option expire for the maximum reward available. How much does it cost? With Nadex, you can open up a 2-week demo account for free. It's funded with $25,000 in play money. The minimum amount of dollars you need to fund a live Nadex account is only $100. The exchange fees is how Nadex makes money, and they charge 90 cents per contract per side. So if you open and close that trade that I just showed, to open and close that successfully, you'd be looking at $1.80 round trip for exchange fees. The maximum exchange fees on any trade are $9 per side. What that means is if you trade 10 contracts, you'd be going 90 cents times 10, that's $9 per side, that's $18 round trip. If you trade 20 contracts or 50 contracts, your exchange fees are still capped at $9 per side. So you get some economies in exchange fees also. If a contract expires, if you let a contract expire and it expires unsuccessfully and you lost the risks that you put up, you're going to get charged an order execution for entering the trade, but you're not going to be charged a settlement fee on the back end. So you don't get hit with a round trip if you have a trade with Nadex that expires out of the money unsuccessfully. And I don't know of any trading platform that is that generous for people that have a losing trade. Quick summary. Binary options are based on simple yes or no propositions. It's your opinion on where you think the market is going to be relative to a strike price within a defined period of time. You have limited trade risk. You always know your risk reward before you place a trade. So a trade cannot run away from you. You can't have a margin call. You can't lose more than your original investment with some other trading platforms. And you can choose multiple markets. You can use the strategies that you use for commodities or the E-minis or Forex pairs. If you've got a good strategy, you can apply it to Nadex. You have spike protection. As long as the trade is active, you can trade with the confidence of knowing that you're not going to be stopped out. And finally, it's a regulated exchange, subject to strict regulatory oversight by the CFTC. Your funds are held in a segregated U.S. bank account, and it's very easy to make deposits and withdrawals. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce Sean Jantz. He's the founder of the Binary Trade Group. Sean has an excellent Nadex education community. He does daily trainings via Facebook, and every night he produces a YouTube battle plan for the following day using his methodology. His website is the Binary Trade Group. You get a free 2-week trial when you enter his room where you get to engage. You get upfront training from Binary Trade Group, and you get to engage with their community of traders, many of whom are very, very good. And Sean is going to cover today his market commentary and his battle plan for Tuesday, November 10th, 2015. Sean, can you come on in the room and mic check?
Hey, Cam White, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can everyone else hear Sean okay? Just type in a yes, please. Sandy says no. Can you try again?
Hey, Sandy, can you hear me now?
Yeah, Sean, you sound a little bit muted. Can you adjust your volume at all?
Did that help at all?
Oh, ho, yeehaw! Bring it down a tone.
Okay, how about that?
Little bit. Can you bring down the volume just another tick? You've gone from one extreme to another.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Tom says perfect. Good. Well, Sean, I'm going to mute my microphone and pass it over to you, and look forward to your presentation.
Okay, well, hey, good morning. And I know it's a little early, and I'm in Idaho, so I'm in Mountain Time. It's about 6:20 my time. This is about every day. Right around this time is usually when I start waking up, actually. And so the market will open up here in about an hour. And a little bit about me. I've been trading not just Nadex. I trade a bunch of different stuff as well on other exchanges and platforms. I've been trading for about 3.5 years, and full-time trading for 2 years now. So for the last 2 years, literally almost every single day. There's been sometimes I'll go on vacation, but I rarely miss a trading morning. And so I have watched um, uh, the market every single day, almost tick for tick, for the last 2 years. And so, um, and it's one of my opinions that I do think that, today actually what I'm going to share is some of my routines that I do in the morning, some of the stuff that I've learned. And I think it's more important to learn from people's mistakes than it is to learn how to trade, right? So there's a lot of people out there who there's so many people out there who can help you make money in trading or Nadex or what have you. And I think what starts taking people to the next level is learning how to actually be a trader and how to actually read a chart, and more importantly, how to get your mindset right. So I'm going to kind of take you through some of my morning routines. I do trade plans every evening as well, and we'll review that quickly, and then I'll kind of share with you some of my thoughts for the day and even for the week and even for the end of the year. So I know I have about 40 minutes, so I'll try and make this combine just a bunch of value in 40 minutes. And so let me go ahead and start sharing my screen here. Okay, perfect. It looks like that's working. Hopefully, if anybody can see my screen, if you can give me a Y, just so I can make sure. Okay, thanks, Tom. Hey, so every morning, um, stuff that I've learned from other traders, as far as, I've tried to learn as much as I can from other profitable traders you know, who have been in this business, because I treat trading just like a business, and I've done everything I can to learn from them, right? So it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. And so I've taken a bunch of knowledge from other people and have applied that to my trading. And so one of the first things that I do in the morning, and I think this is something I started about a year and a half ago, and it's like extremely crucial that newer traders or even somebody who's struggling figures this out. And it's about getting your mind right first thing in the morning. And so I actually have I have several screens, and I have a bunch of stuff plastered all over my wall. And so a lot of it's just about how to get my mind right. I have a lot of stuff plastered on the wall to remind me of things. I've lost a lot of money trading, and so I had to go through that so that I can learn from it. One of the first things that I do in the morning is I try and get my mind right. And so I have this Word document. It's printed out. I have it right here to my left on the wall. And every day I get up and I read this. And it really sets the tone. I used to be that guy that I thought this was going to be so easy. I would just come into the market and we'll just make some money, right? And as if anybody's been trading, I'm assuming you have. It doesn't work like that, right? And so I really struggled getting my mind uh, wrapped around this trading thing for a long time. I would make a lot of money, all of a sudden then I'd lose it. I'm back to square one. I'd go 2-3 months, I'd make a lot of money, and then I would lose it all literally in a week. So I've gone through that period, and I was so sick and tired of it that now I do everything I can. So it's actually super easy to make money on Nadex or to make money on any trading deal, on any exchange. It's actually really easy. Everybody and their dog out there will teach you how to make money. The hardest part about trading is learning how not to lose money. Once I figured out how not to lose, meaning you can get your gains, get your gains, get your gains, and then once you learn how not to lose it and how to keep your discipline intact and how to have a strong, strong trade plan, that's kind of when things started taking off for me. So we can kind of read this together, but every single morning, give me 1 second. Market's moving a little bit, so hold on one. Every single morning I read these to myself. So I really hope that you're taking notes right now. I think this is something I got from a trading book. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's not exactly, but it taught me how every day when I wake up, I treat this like a business. I get my coffee and I get my mind right for the day, right? And so one of the first things it says is I'm a disciplined trader and I never overtrade. So this is super important. I used to just trade anything and everything I saw. I just throw it out there, right? I don't do that anymore. And so I do post trade plans every single night and I usually stick to it. I'll post this real quick for you. Here was today's trade plan, and we'll go over it quickly together. So there was my trade plan today that I share with everybody every evening. This number 2 is huge. And I'll scroll down. I never trade too big or revenge losses. So trade too big. This is probably the biggest reason why people fail in trading. They trade way too big, like way too big. You'll see me, I have a decent size account, but I still trade super small. So my biggest thing that I do is I trade small, I trade often. I'm never put enough money out there to where I'm like freaking out, meaning I'm always prepared to take especially on Nadex, I'm always prepared to take a full loss, which I never rarely do, but I'm always prepared to take a full loss. And I used to actually revenge losses. I'd take a couple more contracts or I would double up. Crazy. So now I read this every day and I have it plastered on my wall. It reminds me to Sean, wise up here. Quit trading too big and quit trying to revenge your losses. So number 3 is I'm always focused and prepared. So I always wake up early. I get my coffee. I work out every single morning. I do like Insanity or T25, what have you, just whatever. 20, 25 minutes I work out. I then take a shower and I'm ready to go. Almost every single morning, I am ready, pumped up, ready to go. And that's something I used to not do. I used to wake up and I literally just rolled out of bed and my eyes, I still wouldn't have my eyes open. My screen would just hurt my eyes and I'm trying to sit in here trying to make money. It just doesn't work like that. And so now I wake up, I work out every single morning. I do, and then, I eat a little bit of breakfast. I usually eat some shakes. I then take a shower. I brush my teeth. And here's another thing. I do work from home, but I also dress up, meaning I don't get in my pajamas, I dress up. I get comfortable. I treat this like I'm literally like I'm walking into an office, treating this like a legit trader or business. Number 4 is the biggest thing that I have learned to do that will take everybody to a whole new level. And it's I take my profits as the market gives it to me, especially in Nadex. This is huge. In a traditional trade, right, you basically have your entry point and then your take profit order. But on Nadex binary options, it's all time-based. So I see too many people holding their binary options on Nadex way too long. There is zero reason to be holding binary options to expiration. The best thing about Nadex that drew me to Nadex is that it allows you to go ahead and get in there and take your profits as the market gives it to you. So let's say you're in a 2-hour Nadex binary option, and let's say you bought the binary option at $60, and it is now worth 90. You still have an hour and a half left on your trade, and you're up 30 bucks. So you only have $10 left to make in the next hour and a half. There is zero reason to hold that trade for the next hour and a half. And you're up $30. You only have $10 left to make on the full transaction. Go ahead and take your profits and then move on to the next trade. I see too many people, especially in Nadex, they're holding their trades way too long. I always say as soon as you see green, go in there and grab it. You gotta get in the habit as soon as you see green and you see profits, go ahead and take them. There's no reason not to go ahead and take those profits. I used to try and hold everything to expiration, and a lot of times I would get killed, the last 5, 10, 20 minutes, and so I stopped doing that. Number 5, anything can happen. So I put a huge exclamation point on that because I've learned this the hard way. I've told myself there is no way price is going to go here. There is no way price is going to go there, and sure enough, it does. The market will always humble you. It has humbled me day in and day out. But as long as I stick to solid trade plans and I trade small, um, it actually says it right here, trade small, accept the risk. If it loses, move on. So I used to dwell and dwell and dwell on losses, because the reason I dwelled on them is because I traded too big. And so I would just constantly dwell on my losses. But now I trade really small. If I lose, I lose. I don't care. It was 20, 30, 40 bucks, whereas I used to be losing 500 to 700 on one single transaction, which is a lot of money to me. It is probably a lot of money to everybody. And so I used to just really, really dwell on my losses, and they would set my entire week up, and I don't do that anymore, right? So I trade small. I don't care if I lose because I trade really small on my contracts. 6, there's no pressure to trade if there is no edge. This is huge. This one was a big deal to me. So I used to come into the market every single day, and so I would just be constantly hunting for a trade. If I'm sitting here and I have no trades on, I'm constantly hunting for something. And like, oh, this looks decent. I'll just go ahead and enter this one. And so that used to kill me. And so I would constantly. So a good example is I would get gains after gains after gains because there was so much edge on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then on Thursday I saw no edges, but I would still force stuff. And so now I've learned there are days I don't make a single trade, 0 trades. I've learned that cash is a position. Please write that down. Cash is a position. So once I learned that, I was like, hey, I'm actually in a position. I'm in cash, right? So too many people, I like to use the examples. Let's say you're out there hunting and you're hunting for deer. You're out there, if there's any hunters on here, you're out there and you're hunting for deer. You wouldn't waste your ammo on every squirrel that walked by, right? So you're shooting at all these squirrels, you're out of ammo, and then all of a sudden you see a deer. So I constantly only wait for deers. And there's plenty of money to be made just on deers alone. Too many people think they constantly need a trade on it, so they force stuff. But once you learn that cash is actually a position, that really, really helped. Number 7 are just some affirmations that I like giving to myself. I believe in myself and my proven trading methodology. And so you really, really, really have to believe in yourself, right? I always tell myself on my wall here, it says, I'm the best Nadex trader in the world, right? And so I may not be, right? I'm definitely not as far as income-wise or as far as money-wise. I'm sure there are way more people making way more money than me. But I still use those affirmations every morning to myself. 8, I had to add this one. Because I make notes on all of my losing days and winning days. And I started to see a trend on my losing days. This was huge. I started to see a trend. 8 says attitude is everything. Stay out if I don't have a winning attitude. And so I started to see a trend. If I wasn't having a very good morning, usually I was losing money that day. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I wasn't in a good attitude, I was almost for sure to lose money. So now I make sure that when I get to my desk, am I happy? Is there some, or my thoughts somewhere else? Right? Is my thoughts on this game that was just happened last night, or is my wife upset with me? I don't know. That's just an example, right? I love my wife. We rarely get upset with each other, but that's just an example you can use, right? Are you constantly thinking about this or that, or is your attitude in a winning position to go out there and make some money? And so that's kind of my morning ritual here. I always get to my desk. Again, quickly, I wake up, I work out, I have a shake, I get in the shower. I don't come to my desk in pajamas. I dress up, I feel good. I even do my hair. I don't see anybody all morning. but I still do my hair. It just gets me in a better attitude. Um, and then, of course, I got my coffee. I drink 3 to 4 cups a day. And then I read this to myself. And now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to enter the markets. And I feel like I'm in a way better position. Again, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I didn't do one single thing. I'd wake up, my eyes, I just try and sit down here. I'm still in my pajamas. I can barely see because the screen is blinding me. And here I am trying to enter some trades. Um, very, very difficult. So hopefully that this helped you. Hopefully you wrote these down. You got it. I wish trading, I wish I could say it was the easiest thing ever. It's not. Actually, trading will probably be the hardest thing that you'll ever learn in your life, but it's also one of the most um, uh, gratifying, not gratifying, what's the word? It's the most rewarding things that you can ever do, right? And so it's not that difficult when you actually start doing these things. I'm sure a lot of you have actually made money in Nadex. I'm sure you have. And I bet you've made plenty. But are you doing everything you can to not lose money, right? Are you doing the right things to actually keep those gains? It's very easy to make money in trading, but it's actually very difficult to keep it. And so if you start treating this thing, make sure that you're disciplined and get very, very good trade plans for yourself. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Is there any questions on this? I also have a bunch of other stuff plastered on my wall. Um, um, I have a bunch of I have several things plastered on my wall to always remind me um, to keep myself in line with the markets and to keep myself disciplined. I mean, discipline is the #1 thing that I've learned. Any questions on this? Thanks, Mary Ann. And so I promise most people that if you actually start doing some of these things and really, really treat trading like a legit business or any other thing that you do out there, is you um, a lot of different things will start happening for you, and you'll start seeing way more success. So I'm going to actually share with you um, every evening. For the last 9 months, we can go into. I post a daily trade plan on the /ES, which is the S&P 500 futures, and /TF, which is the small cap 2000, the Russell 2000. Those are the two most heavily traded charts in the entire world. And so I really, really, those are my two favorite charts that I trade. I love trading the /ES and the small cap 2000. They're very, very liquid. It doesn't have to mean it's liquid even on Nadex, right? And anywhere online, I can get quick access to analysis on those two charts, and they're very, very easy to learn how they move. And and ES and TF are very easy to learn the ins and outs of the chart. And so, especially, you can jump on CNBC right now, and they'll be talking about the S&P 500. And so, I like trading stuff that is that other people are trading, and so I can get analysis from anybody, anywhere, at all times. And I try and get analysis from other people, and then of course I do my own. And so every evening I post a trade plan every evening on the /ES and the /TF. I basically tell it's right around 10 to 12 minutes every night. Actually, every single night for the last 9 months, and I go ahead and post it in my group for all of the people who trade with me. And I also provide charts. So we'll go into charting and how I like to plot my charts. But last night on the /ES, there was basically, here's the /ES trade plan. I do this right around 10 o'clock Eastern. And so last night on the /ES, I basically had two options last night. And so one thing that I've learned too is that if there's any London traders, London time zone, so that's right around 3 a.m. Eastern to 5 a.m. Eastern, there's a lot of opportunity there. Sometimes I don't wake up to get those moves, but there's a lot of opportunity around London. So last night I basically had two options on this /ES. And so we were either, so here's something important in my trade plans that I put out every evening for everybody. You can see that YouTube video and you can kind of see how I do it. But I tell basically everybody what to do. That's probably the first thing. The most important thing that I also add is I tell people what not to do. That's probably the most important value that you'll actually get from me, is that since I've been doing this for 3 years, I add a ton of value in these videos because I basically I do tell you what to do, how to make money. I also will then tell you every single night what not to do. So if price goes here, it goes there, or it breaks here, I basically tell you stay out. This is not a place to be trading. But if it goes here, this is a great place. If it goes here, stay out, you'll lose, right? And so that's probably one of the best values that you'll actually get from me, as I have learned how to make sure that I only trade the best edges in the market. So last night we were up around this region up here, and I'll explain what that box is. But what it is it's basically what you call a value area box. And so if anybody, it's volume profile. So up here is value area high, and down here is value area low. And so basically, quick example is it's basically the Kelly Blue Book value of the /ES for today. Up here is value area high, so it's basically where a lot of people want to be a seller up here, and then a lot of people want to be buyers up here. And so I have actually free training on everything. Everything I actually provide is free. I actually don't even sell anything. The only thing I sell currently is just access to somebody who's been doing this for 3 years. It's basically all I sell. I offer private mentorship and all that. But last night, I basically gave everybody, you got two options, right? We're either going to break up above and you can hit some higher lows, and then price will probably run up here. Or we were either going to break down below, and then you could enter on any one of those lower highs, and then more than likely, you would have wanted to take your profits on that line right there, which is Tuesday's POC, and I'll explain that here in a second. Or you could maybe wait for it to touch value area low. So this is really good example for people who like to trade spreads on Nadex, or for people who like to just trade traditional futures. This absolutely works. If you just trade traditional futures, it's totally fine too. You need some more money to do that, but this works for traditional futures as well. So I'm always, the night before, 12 hours in advance, I wish that this would have happened. This little plan here, I wish we either up to the upside or down to the downside. I wish this would have happened later, but it actually started happening while I was sleeping during London. So we can actually see what happened to this chart. So we were right up around here, and you know that if price started sinking back in, you know exactly where to take this, because I just showed you and told you. So obviously right around London, price actually started sinking back in, and there's your lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then I would have definitely taken profit right here on Tuesdays. What this stands for is POC, which stands for point of control. So basically what that means is, you can see it says 2068.45, Tuesday's POC. Basically what that means is I do this on a day ahead. So if it's Tuesday's POC, what that means is on Monday, there was more volume in transactions at 2068.45 than any other price. So that gives me a really good clue of where the buyers and the sellers were on Monday. They were almost all of them, sorry, not all of them. There was more volume at 2068.45, that number right there, on Monday's trading day. So that tells me that it's basically where the bulls and the bears met, and that's where they saw fair value, which is 2068.45. And I love keeping POCs on my chart, so I like seeing where all the volume was on previous days. Because look, they basically, I mean, price just gets sucked to them. So you can use them as profit targets, and you can also use them as uh, support and resistance lines as well. I mean, it's just perfect, right? So you had two plans last night. You're either going to break up to the upside, and it's very, very simple. All you need to do is just enter on some higher lows, take your profits up here. Or you're going to go to the downside, just enter on some lower highs, either here or here. Take your profits here or here. So you can watch that video. I basically tell you, like, word for word exactly what to do and exactly what not to do 12 hours before it even happens. I actually have 9 months worth of these videos every single day, and I even surprise myself sometimes how sickening accurate I am. Do I catch everything and do I make millions? No, right? Because I trade small and I don't catch everything. Even myself, I miss a lot of stuff because I do a lot of analysis on this chart, but I'm always prepared for every single direction. And so that was pretty easy. You can see, yeah, if I would have woken up around London, I could have actually made quite a bit of money, right? And so sometimes the worst thing is when London um, takes your trades, right? And so now what I want to share is an example of some stuff that I do first thing in the morning. And this is, once I learned this is one of the most crucial parts of my trades. And you'll actually see it in that trade plan video. I do it every single night. And that is what I call doing top-down analysis. I used to, when I first started trading, I only watched five-minute charts. And I just can't believe how silly that was. It was ridiculous. And now I know why the heck I was losing so much money. I was only looking at 5-minute charts back in the day. Okay. Now I look at almost everything. I look as far as up to a weekly, all the way down to the 1-minute chart every single morning, every single day, every single night, every single morning. I go from the top to the bottom to give me a full top-down analysis of what's actually going on this chart. Once I learned how to do that, I mean, there were so many more opportunities available to me every day. And you can watch in those trade plans how I do top-down analysis and how I basically get where I think price is going to go and where it's not going to go. It's so important. Yes, um, it's so important to understand where we've been and where we're going, and then that you can use that information on your intraday trades. And so I'm actually going to show you here, we're going to look at the slash TF, which is the small cap 2000. Currently, this is my favorite chart this morning. And so last night on my trade plan for slash TF, here was my plan on slash TF. So you can watch this. I'm looking for a potential support on the 4-hour chart coming into this, right? You can even see me right around minute 9:20. I'm looking for support to come into this slash TF chart. We're in a pretty decent longer term bull channel here. I've been killing this TF chart. It's been really, really smooth. I mean, look how easy this TF chart's moving. It just goes up, and then I get sell triggers here. Comes back up, sell triggers. I caught this yesterday. You can see the sell trigger there all the way back down. Okay, and then now we're actually coming into some really, really good support here on this slash TF. I also use this is basically a simple RSI indicator, which tells me an overbought or oversold conditions. So on our 4-hour chart, we're starting to get oversold. This indicator down here, all it does is cycle. It cycles from oversold to overbought, overbought to oversold, oversold to overbought. I mean, it's silly how simple it is. So we were up here on overbought. You can actually go back and watch Sunday night's trade plan. It's on YouTube for free. This was just beautiful, right? There's your sell trigger, reversal star. I basically said, go sell whatever you possibly can, and you'll make quite a bit of money, right? I love selling. For just FYI, I love being a seller, so I love overbought charts, just like yesterday. I made decent amounts of money yesterday. I should have made a lot more, but I made a decent amount of money yesterday because I love being a seller. Bears get after it. Once you learn that the bears take the elevator and bulls take the stairs, right? So once I learned how to be more on the bear side, I love being more on the bear side. Most of my losses, I would say 80% of my losses have been trying to go against the bears, where I've tried to buy on some really, really, really oversold charts, and it just kept falling, kept falling, kept falling. So I can almost guarantee a lot of people um, got damaged back in August, right? Whereas me, I just loved it. Back in August when we had that big move down, volatility spiked. It was beautiful. But I bet a lot of people thought, oh, I can buy here. I can buy here. Oh, wait. I can buy here. And you just start melting because you don't know where the end is going to be. Whereas me, I just loved it. I mean, I just pounded it, right? And so you could just see that coming from a long ways away. And so once you learn how to find overbought charts, um, that's where I make most of my money. So quickly, I see got about 10, 15 minutes before this market opens. Well, 30 minutes before market opens. I only want to go till 9, but 9 o'clock, sorry, 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm looking for support to come into this TF chart today. And so my plan is, you can see where we're actually hitting, you can watch the trade plan. Look, we're actually hitting a, this is actually 1, 2, 3, 4. We're hitting a quadruple bottom. I mean, these bears can't get anything done at this level right here. So you can watch this plan that I posted. They couldn't get anything done here, here, here. They tried so hard yesterday and they couldn't get it done. Okay, thanks, Cam. I just wasn't sure how long you wanted me to go. I only have about 10, 15 minutes and we'll jump into these charts. But we're actually hitting a quadruple bottom on this TF. So I love it, absolutely love trading ranges. When I find a range, that's actually where I make a lot of my money, is ranges. I mean, look at this sick range that we're in. This has been beautiful. Like, this TF is in one of the best ranges we've seen in a month. And so 4 times now these bears have tried and failed. So is today going to be the 5th? And so you can see how I have several plants here. Zoom up here. So obviously my first plan is, I really wanted to see, this is obviously from last night, right? I wanted to see support coming into this chart exactly where we had support yesterday. And so when I woke up this morning, and then I want to try to enter on some higher lows back up to the upside. Something here is super critical, that if you watch this thoroughly, I basically tell you, price cannot break the prior low. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's see. I'm telling you that price cannot break these lows. If you want to be a buyer today on the /TF, price cannot break these prior lows. Price has to hold. Price has to hold today, and you should be pretty in the clear of getting a buy trigger on /TF today. It shouldn't be that difficult, but it's very important, because when you have 1, 2, 3, 4 is basically a quadruple bottom we're forming. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. But if we break, notice I'm also telling you, hey, if we break, we might be off to the races to the downside. And then you can start looking for some lower high sell triggers down to this -0.5. You can watch this as soon as we hang up. I basically tell you exactly what to do and what not to do. Any direction, I give you exactly what to do. And so when I woke up this morning, we're actually hitting support here. So check this out, right? We're hitting some support. Price is coming down. We're not breaking. So my low, I took this, right? This is very crucial as well. Here's my new 5-day low at 1175.2. Very important that I did not break 1175.2. Like, extremely important. And we're not breaking it. Bears are tried one more time here during London. They couldn't get anything done. A little worrisome because they broke this one on Friday and they broke Mondays, which I did not want to see, but it's very important that they didn't take it lower than 1175.2. So you had several options here. If we move over to this 4-hour chart, I mean, clearly we're trying to get this sucker. I mean, look at this, right? We had our sell trigger here yesterday. There's your reversal star that I teach. This is all for free. I can teach you all this for free. And then notice how we're trying to catch support. And even on the 4-hour chart, you can see this trend right here. Comes up higher, 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 and then is this going to be higher again? Right? So you can kind of see how this is coming down and it will likely want to curl back up. You can also see how this transformer is getting oversold and will likely want to curl up as well. So this is on a 4-hour chart. And so it's very important to learn your 4-hour charts. 4-hour charts have made me a lot of money. The 4-hour chart has made me more money than any other chart that I currently trade because I take my bias from the 4-hour and then I apply it to the 5, 15-minute charts. The only thing that I'm currently worried about and why I don't want to trade too big on the buy side is that we just came out with some really good news announcements from as far as the economy is really starting to improve. We just got really good non-farm payroll, which is giving the feds a green light to start raising rates next month. And so when rates go up, prices on the indices go down. And so I am a little worried that if I try and start trying to buy stuff, that any time during the day or the week, bears are going to start just dumping these indices. And if we start getting more good economic news, I think we might be in some trouble heading into the end of the year as far as a lot of volatility. Okay, we made on the /ES, we made a huge move all the way back up. Let's just look at a weekly chart here, right? /ES, it only took 3 days to make this move down. It took 2 months to come all the way back up. And you can even see on our weekly chart, we're starting to get really overbought on a weekly chart. And we're starting to get better. I think the feds are going to start raising rates soon, which I definitely foresee this to be a lot of volatility going into the end of the year, for sure. I don't see a reason why this would keep going up. There's nothing out there telling me that it's going to keep going up. So I do see some volatility coming in, which is amazing for a day trader. Like more money was made in August for day traders than probably the entire year combined. So you talk to any day trader that's been around 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they probably made a lot of money in August and September. It was so good, right? As a day trader, you absolutely love these moves here. And so we're hoping to get this again in going into December. We got it last December. It was very volatile last December as well. And so if this starts getting volatile and we start seeing a lot of sell triggers to the downside, you will make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. A lot, right? More money was made probably in the month of August for day traders than all the other months combined. I follow and talk to a lot of other day traders. August was by far their biggest month of the year, right? Whereas if you're just a buy and hold person, you probably lost a lot of money here, right? That's why I like managing my money every day on a day in, day out basis. But looking at this TF, we are coming down. These bears are trying to hold. Earl, usually 5 days. I keep POCs on Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, there's 5 of them there. So what I'm really looking for is this /ES to get the buyers coming into this market. The toughest thing for me is trying to trade before the market opens, because I have gotten hammered during market opens before. And so even over here on my wall it says be cautious during market open, right? So over here on my wall, it says be cautious during market open, because market open can do whatever the heck it wants to do, right? So a lot of people make a lot of money on market open. So there's so much opportunity here in the next, once market opens in the next 30 minutes, there's so much opportunity, but there's also so much opportunity to lose as well. And so for me, I usually trade small during market open, or if basically what I mean is if I'm going to trade into market open, I'm not trying to you know, make my entire wage in market open, because it can. True, Earl. I mean, I usually do too. I really do. I usually hold off myself unless it just looks picture perfect and you're like, oh my goodness, this is just so easy. But any signs of indecision on my part, basically I'm like, okay, let's sell here. No, wait, let's hold. No, okay, hold on. I basically get myself into analysis paralysis. Honestly, what I do is I step away from the computer. I step away because I have learned my lesson too many times trying to be cool during market open. Nadex, though, is that obviously all of my trades are capped risk, and so I usually like doing options closer to at the money. And then what I've learned is too, trading during market open, is to always, always, always take your profits early because of wicks, if you know what I mean by that. Prices will move really, really fast, and if you're not ready to take your profits, basically, so you should always have a take profit working order on, because the wicks will get you out of your trade. And if you're not sitting there, you want Nadex to get the trade. You want Nadex to get you out of your trade for you. So here's an example that I just randomly threw on some demo trades here, and I'll probably look for some live trades. Earl, I have a free video on how I do deviation levels, but it's very simple, and the math is really simple as well. But I do have a free video, and I teach you how to do it. So we can look here, 1174 daily at 60 bucks. So we can look. So the thing here, one thing I love about Nadex, and once you start moving your mind to this, is all you're trying to do is decide whether statements are going to be true or false by a certain time period. So all this says is US small cap 2000 greater than 1174 by 415. Okay, so all we need to do is go ahead and draw this statement. So there, let's draw 1174. So are we going to be above this line by this vertical line, or are we going to be below it? Right? So I'm currently saying it's going to be true, and I'm not risking that much money either. So I'm risking 60 to make 40, but I'm actually not going to be risking 60. I'll go ahead and cut my losses early, probably for a $40 loss. So as soon as I see minus 40, I'll go ahead and cut my losses. So too many people get wrapped up around this. So if I buy for 60, too many people, they get too wrapped up with this number here. It says max loss. You can't, that's not, yes, that all this really is my buying power. That's all that is. I'm not going to take a $40 loss. Sorry, did that wrong. Buy. My max loss is $60 on this trade. My max profit's 40. I'm not, obviously, that max loss though, and I wish I need to close that out and just look at it. All this is just my buying power. They're going to take $60 out of my account to make this trade, but I'm not going to take a $60 loss. I'll probably cut it for minus 30 or minus 40. All it is just a $60 buying power, and then I will manage my risk accordingly, right? Yes, it's $60 max, so that if I don't do anything, I'll only lose 60. But there's absolutely no way I'll take a $60 loss on this trade. As soon as I see minus 40, I'll just go ahead and cut my losses. So you decide your max loss. Too many people get wrapped up around this deal here. Stop thinking like that. Even if it says 80-20, the 80 is only your buying power. It's what that's going to come out of your account. That's what you need to take out of your account to make the trade. But that's not your risk. Your risk is whatever you want it to be. If you want your risk to be $30, let's say your max loss is 80, but your risk is actually only minus 30. So you decide what you want your risk to be. Too many people get wrapped up around these numbers. Stop thinking about those numbers and start thinking about what do you want. My max profit here is 40. I'm not going to take a $40 profit. As soon as I see 20, 25, 30 bucks, I'm taking my profits. These numbers right here mean nothing to me. I control my trades from right here. The second I see plus 30, I'm taking my profits. The second I see minus 40, I'm going to exit my trade. So stop thinking about these numbers here and start thinking about what do you want from your trade. Okay? And so market will open up here in about 30 minutes. One last thing I wanted to show is we currently have an 80% rule, what I like to call an 80% rule in effect as we speak. So here's a picture of an 80% rule trade. So basically, when price comes outside of the value and then comes back inside with no support and starts hitting lower highs, some lower highs, there's an 80% chance that it will fall down to value area low right here. Okay, and this works amazingly. So if you get in and trade with me, this little deal that you'll learn is by far the best thing you'll learn. If you know anything better than this, I'd love to see it. Okay, and so basically we did come outside of value here, and we have gotten back inside, and we keep hitting lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So we almost touched it here. And I can't imagine that these bears aren't going to at least going to want to take this down and kiss value area low today. I can't imagine that they're not going to want to. And so the reason why this works is self-fulfilling prophecy. Millions of people trade with this on their charts, and millions of people know this rule, and so they make it happen, if that makes sense. So everybody makes it go down there, and so it's basically a self-fulfilling deal, right? So that's why it works so well, and so make sure to be watching for that. And so I'll quickly wrap up with this. I do also every morning I go in and look at dollar forex pairs, and I always start on the 4-hour chart. So yesterday on the dollar yen, which is probably my favorite, we had a really good 4-hour sell trigger, and we're actually starting to come back up. And so I am absolutely going to be looking to sell this dollar yen here either today. We had this sell trigger. We're extremely overbought up here, extremely. We had the sell trigger here yesterday, and now it's starting to come back and try one more time. I am waiting for this to come back up, and then I can look to sell this back. So if we move to our 30-minute chart, okay, we had a sell trigger back here around London, and it's starting to come back up again. And so this doesn't look perfect. This doesn't look perfect. I teach you exactly how to read these charts. But you can also look, I always start on the 4-hour chart on all of my Forex stuff, and then I use the 4-hour bias on the smaller time frame. So I absolutely want to be looking for sells on this dollar yen chart, and also dollar Canada and dollar Swiss look the exact same. So pick your favorite one. So I wanted to cover that quickly. I also share this workspace every evening with everybody. So I do have to go in on your charts for you. I also, I put all these POCs, I calculate these deviation levels for you every evening. And then what I do is I send you this workspace. So this says Tuesday's workspace. I hit share. I create the link. And then I send this out to everybody. And then you can have that link. And then I'll send you the video right now so that you can actually load this into your charts today. If you have Thinkorswim, go ahead and load this up. And you can have my charts for today. And I do this every evening for you and for you as well. We also offer free Nadex training. So if this was like completely foreign to you, we offer free Nadex one-on-ones. So one of my best friend, he lives in Kansas City. His name is Ryan Smith. We do free Nadex trainings. And so he'll hop on, he'll spend over 30 minutes to an hour with you teaching you Nadex for free. I think currently, from what I've seen, I think we're the only people that'll do that for you. So if you really want to learn Nadex, we do it for free. Just go ahead and Cam right there posted my website, and you can enter your email. Ryan Smith will reach out to you. We actually offer everything for free that we send, and if you like what you hear, you like hanging out with me, you like trading with me, you have an option to enter a chat room with me, and you can trade with me every single day. I also, last thing before I'm done, the best thing that I ever did for myself, also to how I gathered all of those lists, those bullet points that I made for myself every day, it came from recording myself trading. Okay, so what I offer, the best thing that I ever did is I recorded everything that I did every single day. So I record myself trading. And so here's the video on how to do that. If you get into my free training center, I teach you how to record yourself. And I would actually go back. And rewatch all of my trades, and I would talk to myself as I'm trading. I would tell myself why I think this is going to win, blah, blah, blah. I come from a college basketball background, and I loved watching game film of myself so that I could always constantly get better. I took that philosophy and now I applied it to trading in my beginning years. So I recorded myself every single day, and that's how I quickly sped up my learning curve, was because I watched myself and I could actually go back and replay what I did wrong. And so I allow people to record themselves today, and then when you start sending them to me, I do one-on-one mentorships with you. So if you send me if you send several videos of yourself trading, I can then watch what you're doing. I can watch how you enter. I can watch what you're doing. I can watch what you're looking at, what charts, and then I do one-on-ones with people as well, so that I can help you get better.
Well, Sean, that was just a tremendous presentation. I want to thank you for taking an hour of your day this early in the morning in Idaho and sharing your philosophy, your methodology, everything that you do to get set for the day. I thought it was a great presentation. How you organize your day, how you analyze the charts, the markets that you follow. I've been following Sean for quite some time, and he is remarkably consistent in how he does things. Are there any last-minute questions for Sean? And for those of you who are new, was this presentation helpful? All right. Well, guys, thanks so much for showing up. We're going to be doing market commentary every day this week. Next up tomorrow will be Gail Mercer from Traders Help Desk, and you will see her unique approach to trading the market. So log in tomorrow and have a great day trading.